Interesting.
That was Sam's brother.
It's nice when we can finish each other's
Thoughts? Oh, sentences.
sandwiches. No. Yeah. Why that made me think of that when we started saying that.
Interesting.
Interesting. What is interesting is that if any of our listeners, our viewers, any of those things follow us on Twitter or Untapped, they probably have already seen me talk about this beer a few times now.
I know I have.
Yeah. And unfortunately, I still felt it was warranted to do a tasting of it and talk about it again.
Pretty much
I don't think
Odell's.
you've had one yet, right?
No, I have not.
Okay.
And usually, most of the time, Odell's or this brewery. Most of the time, this brewery is one that enters into that special arena that we have, or that special. I don't know. It is almost je ne sais quoi. There are certain breweries that when they come out with something, we pretty much want to try it because we know that we've liked their things. We know that they know what they're doing, and we trust them. We've given them our trust.
Stone, Dogfish. These are kind of the big three. There's other
Russian River, if we could actually get it regularly.
Oh my gosh, yeah. Let's not even get into that. But yeah, Russian River would be another one. Definitely, like I said. So this is
even Dragoon right here in Tucson.
That is another one. We don't talk. Sometimes when you start to think, about what you're finding on the shelf, things like that kind of get overlooked. But I totally agree.
Yeah.
Dragoon is definitely another one, and who knows? Maybe even the beer we tried a few weeks back. Maybe
right.
Iron John's also becomes another local brewery that as soon as they make something, we want to try it.
We got to be there.
But what we have today is we have something from, as you said, Odell for this Give It a Shot. I'm Andrew.
And I'm Keith, and we are AboutBeverages.com. And the beverage that we are about today is the Runoff Red IPA from Odell Brewing Company out of Colorado. This is 6.5% alcohol. This is a seasonal beer for them.
Correct. This will be good through April.
And is it still available?
Right now, it should be still available. Okay. Like I said, it might be dwindling down a little bit because they probably have their next seasonal coming out, but I think people will still be able to find it.
So this is kind of, I would assume, like Deschutes Northwest Pale Ale kind of fills that gap after their winter and before a spring, that sort of thing, because it even mentions snow melt in here and things like that, and so and encompassing 4 seasons. So it's just kind of that sort of coming out of the winter and moving into the spring sort of season beer.
I like that it was a red, which kind of has been interesting to me lately. Red beer, and especially then an IPA. And I've forced this on pretty much anyone I have found. So you probably already know kind of what I like about this one, but we'll at least get into some of the tasting of it as well. And who knows, maybe you'll be the one that doesn't like it. But so far, some people that normally are not a fan of this style or even heavier IPAs have enjoyed it.
Okay, well, I'm very excited, looking forward to it.
And I believe you said, did you already mention the price? It's about $9 for the 6-pack.
Which is usually where their
pretty standard
6-packs
for
are.
Odell.
Pretty standard stuff. Really.
Pretty standard stuff. Very nice. Oh, man. We were full of it the last few weeks.
Pours
You have to say red.
Well, I don't have to say red, but I will. It's a coppery red.
Copper. Yeah, I would say copper
with reddish. With a reddish hue.
A reddish hue. Yeah, I would say so.
And
also
definitely
right
a good head.
Yeah, definitely. Actually, speaking of other seasonals out right now, too, this one may have actually gone away by the time this goes up, but you can be ready for next year. The Lugene Chocolate Milk Stout from Odell is also delicious.
It's almost juniper-y piney in there.
Yeah. A little fruit coming through, a little grapefruit, I think, coming through, but yeah, definitely piney. Yeah, maybe even a little bit of juniper, something kind of floral, like something flowery, aromatic kind of going on in there.
Juniper's always usually a welcome surprise, aroma-wise. A welcome, yes. Surprise.
Yeah, when people claim juniper, usually they don't seem to get it. They don't seem to put it in.
Yeah, there's a slight... I still have a lot of foam there that I'm trying to break through, but there is a slight fruity note coming through there as well, but so far...
It's nice, creamy, and pleasant-looking foam, too.
So far it's delivering.
Delivering on what I've built it up as?
Yes.
Hopefully there's no
Arthur syndrome.
Yeah, hopefully
right.
it's... You know what, actually, I had a movie recently like that. We always mention Arthur syndrome, which is just kind of a general term for a movie that was hyped up so much, we were excited to see it, and then
Initially let us down.
and then upon subsequent viewings, probably enjoyed it again.
Came back.
Yeah,
Yes, to
then you
enjoy
liked
it. Yes.
Movie recently like that, the Lego Movie.
Oh.
There was just so much like, this is amazing. Like people that we follow on Twitter, talking about it, saying, "Wow, this is great. One of my top 5 animated movies of all time." You know, so then you're kind of really getting it up probably a little too. And people that I respect, just getting up and I went and saw it and I was like, "Huh." And it was funny. There was bits and pieces that were funny, but like it's nowhere near like top 5 just animated movies of all time. You know, it's good.
It's kind of, I saw Rachel a couple weeks ago after you guys had seen it. I saw her at the store and I asked her. She's like, "It was good."
Yeah,
she did that same sort of thing.
Perfect reaction.
She was kind of like,
yeah,
and I could tell that it wasn't like, "Oh my god, it was so good."
Yeah, and that's what everyone said. Like I said, there's a lot of cute little smiles. There was not like, "Oh gosh, my sides are, oh, that's so funny," or something. I mean, there's a little touching something at the end, which we won't get into. It's kind of a surprise and some other thing. But like I said, so overall, it was good. But I think I have a feeling once I get it, probably on Blu-ray or something like that to watch again with my son.
You'll still buy it.
Well, when you have a child like we do, of that age, at least for us, usually when that movie, I want the Lego, so we get, the movie. I think when I watch it again, I think I'll, because now my expectations are down here, I'll probably like, oh gosh, that was funny or that.
Right.
And there was definitely things that were clever, but
yeah,
I
still haven't seen Anchorman 2 yet.
Oh, you should have gone to see it when they had it. They re-released it in the theater like a month ago, where it was.
Oh.
They re-released it and they put out an R-rated version of it.
Oh, really?
'Cause the first one was PG-13, and
wow!
It was all new jokes, like all new. Like I wanted to see it. And
I didn't realize.
Hopefully,
they'll
release that on Blu-ray. They'll release both.
Yeah, that I'd like to see.
Oh god, it's so good. It's so fun. Now that's a movie my sides hurt. I was laughing so hard. That was good.
I watched the very beginning of the other one, the first one the other day with Scotch. I love Scotch.
And there's actually a part in there too with that comes into tasting and stuff that I think you'll just die.
Okay,
It's so good.
Nice.
But, all right. Speaking of tasting,
we're gonna try here. It's quite tasty.
It's pretty good, right?
Especially, and it's actually perfect for this time of year because it's like not super heavy. It's not. It falls right in that medium range where it's not like a light, refreshing IPA like the Iron John, the Diego that we had a few weeks back.
Right.
But this is very flavorful, very tasty, and probably ultimately easily drinkable as well.
Yeah, the caramel in there comes through, a little bit of fruit. Like I said, the bitterness kind of at the back, which kind of really reminds you that they were going for a red. A little bit of that's there. The aromatics are just so nice. I
still get that. I still get the pine though. I mean,
yeah, no, in the flavor too. Yeah, definitely the pininess.
There's a pine and a fruit.
Yeah,
that are kind of taken center stage there, but that's good.
So what's interesting in a little addition to this tasting, I've made it through the 6-pack, and like I said, screamed it from the mountaintops that I like this beer. But also, we were at a restaurant. It's actually probably about 6 weeks ago now, and we went and they had this on draft, and I had it on draft with. Several other people we've mentioned on the show before, Jason, Heidi, and my wife. We were all there, and we all had one, and it was really amazing. There's a little bit of, and I'm kind of getting it now, and that's what made me remember it. It's on draft. There's a really strong, like, cherry fruit that comes through.
Oh, really?
From the caramel in the draft.
Wow.
It was like, it's just amazing how much different that experience can be, because I never got that in the bottle. I'm getting a hint of it now, probably just sense memory, that I'm like, okay, I do see where there was a little bit of a light layer of that, but on the draft, it was like, it came through like, and in a good way. Like I said, it was definitely melded in there, but it was like, because Jason and I just looked at each other, we're like, cherry? we were both like just picked up on it right away.
Wow.
So yeah, it was a very different experience, but
no, that's a good one to have around.
It's one time I actually probably would say I like the bottle better.
Oh, really?
Just
because the cherry maybe adds
like
too much?
It was just a little, like I said, I liked it, and it was unique because I was like, oh my gosh, it's so strange after I've had it so many times. I like where the balance and complexity is here. So that could also say something more about where we were at. Maybe the taps were not right, or maybe getting too much carbonation, or other factors besides just the beer. But anyway.
There was a little like almost as you're just sitting there, like a very, 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 very mild, like cherry cough drop sort of note.
Yeah, there was.
That's there, and that's just in that
It's kind of blended into the caramel and the malts.
Yeah,
and
I didn't notice it in the taste. It's just now as I'm sitting.
Yeah, so if you lifted that up about 4 or 5 notches.
Oh, okay.
That came through more.
Okay,
so,
I would probably prefer that to be on the lower side
Yeah.
of that.
Yeah, it's good when it's blended. It was a little
Yeah.
a little stronger on that.
Yeah.
But, so you can
No,
see why I like this.
Of
season.
course. Oh yeah, that was a delicious. And this was the first time they did this one, I think, right?
Yeah, this is new. Yeah, this is completely new.
So nice.
Yeah, no, I highly recommend. If you can still find some of these, I highly recommend this beer. If you like either of those styles, or even just one or the other, I think they do a great job with kind of balancing those two things. And what is also a great balance is the content that we have at AboutBeverages.com.
It's beverage focused.
It is beverage focused.
But, hey.
We try and get many things on. We're about to go into kind of, well, we have been the last few weeks. We're in Beer Fest right now. We did other things at the beginning of the year, but you know what? We're getting back into the sweet spot of things.
Yeah, the majority of what we've done the last several years.
Almost 5 years now. Yeah.
Well, not 5 years though.
Oh, 4. Yeah.
But no, I mean,
Oh.
yeah. As far as the site, yes.
Yeah,
but,
that's true. We
But I
used to be
mean,
a little bit
we
more
were a
ba-
little bit, more.
That's true.
We had more things to try, and honestly, I think a lot of that's because we don't do as many full podcasts anymore. That used to be all we did.
Yeah,
and these
when we
were
did those-
sprinkled in and out, and now
Correct.
the give it a shots are pretty much the bread and butter. So
It is the bread and butter. Well, there's just so many. I mean, that's just what is so neat about
Yeah.
any craft industry, whether it's beer or spirits or wine or whatever. There's so many new things coming out that
Right.
it's hard to not, like, just on a weekly basis, like, oh, we need to, let people know about this thing or
Right.
that thing, when we do, like, we're still talking about the kombucha podcast. When that actually happens, that will be a culmination of many things. And thankfully it's not really time sensitive or seasonal. We can
Right.
put more of an effort into it, but some of this stuff we really need to,
it needs to,
You need
to
to
happen.
know.
Yeah, right.
because if we really worked on to like, okay, we're going to do all the seasonal things, this season would not be around anymore.
And not
with
that
our
we
schedules.
and not that we can't revisit certain topics, but I mean, we've covered gin, and we've covered bourbon, and we've covered scotch, and we've covered tequila, and we've covered vodka. We've covered a lot of your basic things. I mean,
So we made a wrong turn at vodka. It happens.
Yeah.
We wish we hadn't done that one or wasted the time.
I mean, we could still like pick Cabernets, or we could, if we wine wise, would be
That
nice
would be
to
something I would
maybe
like to do.
pick- we've talked about cabs or a type of a varietal at 3 different price points. We've talked about stuff like that, or maybe 3 different regions, even something like that.
I would still love to do that. I would love to do like a 3-spot of cabs or Merlot. Well, not Merlots. No, we don't. We don't drink Merlot.
Thank you, Sideways.
Thank you, Sideways. Yeah, but like I said, anyway, at the site you can always find a lot of the reviews that we have for beer, wine, all these different things, and especially if it's stuff that's year-round or whatever, you can look at our old stuff, and for the most part, I say it's still pretty accurate. If we really liked it then, we still really like it now.
Yeah.
We may have turned the corner on something a little bit, but for the most part.
Well, we can always revisit. I mean, everybody's opinions change over time. Things change.
And we've tried
You know?
things more than once. We've actually, at
Yep.
the request of listeners, we have actually tried several things more than once because they're like, well, gee, I really think you got that one wrong. And
Even at
some
the
of them
request of me that one time, we tried the was it the Ranger?
yeah, we tried that way too many times
Right.
because that didn't get any better.
It was better on draft, but yeah, not so much in the bottle.
Yeah. But whether we like it or not,
You should give it a shot.